Ciao, ciao cari colleghi, hello colleagues, beauty professionals of the world. Here I am, Stephen Thomas, and we have an amazing interview today with someone really, really special. Someone that's been an influencer in our industry, that has been in the front lines. He's just one of the most amazing professionals in our industry. I just can't wait to introduce you to him, Davide Bollatti from Davines. Let's see if we can get Davide online. So here we go, everybody. We're like loading his name in there. There he goes. It's invited. He comes online and joins us. This is like a new kind of adventure we're having. Here's Davide. Fantastic. Hey,
Hey,
ciao,
Stephen.
Davide. Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Great. Thanks for joining me today. It's really great. We had such an amazing response on our last interview that we did. I'm so excited to be interviewing you today, especially for this new kind of platform that we're creating. That our mission is to like kind of wake up the beauty professionals as to their true mission in life and the importance they have in society, especially Davide at this time in the world when everything is so upside down and crazy. And you know, remember the saying, beauty will save the world. And I believe that the beauty professionals, hairdresser, estheticians, massage artists, nail artists, makeup artists, we're all here on the planet. We've chosen to be here at this time to help to make the planet a better place and bring joy, light, and happiness into people's lives. And so this is kind of our mission in this channel that we're creating. And you have been a front runner as far as this kind of sensitivity goes. I mean, we were working together way back, like almost how long ago?
28 years ago.
Oh my God, 28 years ago. And I was just this young guy over from California, New York, still into the whole fashion scene and everything. And you were already projected towards the future of our industry, knowing that we needed to be more sensitized to the true needs of the consumer that comes into the salon, and you know, and how joyous and colorful and wonderful our industry is, and how the products and services need to reflect that. And you have been a forefront runner in this kind of sensitivity as a business leader, and you've really blazed this kind of an, you know, like impression into the industry, and we're all finally starting to catch up.
You've been too kind with me, Stephen. You know, when I moved from the US after my studies, I felt that there was something new I could bring to the small lab of my parents, and also to the industry. And since then, I remember that you've been the first that took me by, you know, a hand and introduced me to this to the industry in a very unique way. So I always appreciated first of all your human characteristics, because hairdressers, before being hairdressers, are human beings, and that's, I think that's a first strong statement. And the majority of the hairdressers that I met in my career are good human beings, that have a good soul, good spirit, like any other human being, a combination of fragility and strength. We are made of dreams. We're made of aspirations. I don't know. It's a beautiful industry, and I'm really happy that by accident my parents.
Oh, we lost the voice, Davide. There, you're back. You're back. Okay, so your parents, you were
Yeah.
saying?
No, I was saying that just by accidents, by coincidence, I entered into this industry just because of
Oh dear. Can everybody hear Davide there out there? Because I can't hear him from where I'm at. Can somebody send a message and say if Davide can be heard? There. Okay, I got you back.
Yeah, no, because sometimes when I'm sorry, but when I receive a call, it seems that it goes away. But anyways, I hope
All right.
I don't receive too many calls. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I understand.
So again, I feel fortunate to work on in this industry that is very, very human driven, relationship driven. This is the strength of the industry. I think we are not transaction driven. We are relationship driven, and as long as we understand that, I think we are in good shape in this industry.
Absolutely. Well, Davide, the world in the last two to almost now three, we're going on our almost 3 years, has really been turned upside down. We've been separated from each other. We've had so many things happening right now, politically, economically, everything is, very uncertain. There's uncertain times, war, aggressions, monetary systems changing. I mean, there's so much upheaval and so much change going on that right now, above all, it is our time as a profession to shine. It's our time as a profession to be the rock for the people that come to see us. And it's our time now to really, really become sensitized to how people are feeling and what they truly need, because our industry is a touch industry. Like you say, it's a relationship industry. And I've been traveling on the streets, I've been visiting salons since the lockdowns. And it's very, very interesting for me, because I can see within one city block, the same city block, there will be a salon completely full of clients. I mean, just busy, buzzing, full of clients, and maybe 30 or 50 meters further on, almost empty. And I think to myself, what is going on here? So I'll go in and actually do an interview with the people there. And do you know what the main difference was, Davide, when I went in to visit these salons? The main difference was the salons that were really, really busy. And I'm not saying because they were like some kind of fabulous salon or they seemed like some kind of amazing hairdressers. They were just nice places. But the one thing was the energy, the joy, the people were super smiley, super receptive, really, really, positive. And where the salons that I went into, where I found that there was less activity, right away, I was like, hi, how are you? And right away, they were like, well, how can one be, in such difficult times with so many problems, and you know what I mean? And kind of almost immediately complaining, or in some way being not progressive or positive or propositive. They've been, almost kind of been succumbed by the difficulties that we're having right now. So I think really the time now, more than ever, is our attitude needs to really, really be positive and positive. What are your feelings on this?
Well, you remember when we were in lockdown, I've been very, very surprised when I heard that the first need of women during lockdown, the first thing that they were missing was their hairdresser. So that was like incredibly powerful as a statement. And that means that our industry, our beauty industry, is as important as the food industry, as the pharmaceutical industry. We are up there at that level. It became an industry of first necessity. So that's a first fact. Of course, then how do we live in an industry of first necessity? Well, for sure, the energy, the attitude, that's what makes a big difference. And there, I think it's a combination of things. It's being in the beauty industry. Our salons should be beautiful. Should be you should see around sense of aesthetics, a sense of attention to detail, you know, a sense of style. I like the fact that every single hairdresser I meet has his own sense of style. I like the biodiversity of hairdressers in general. This is an industry that is not, that doesn't surrender to chains, that doesn't surrender to a brand that tells you what to do and what to say. This is an industry that has a uniqueness, originality as in the DNA. So I love the fact that 95% of hair salons in the world are unique and different, with a combination of style, a different word. So that's that makes it very kaleidoscopic, very rich, very biodiverse.
Yes.
That's the first thing. And then, of course, is the human characteristics. It's the values that you bring. Sometimes our industry is a little bit. What I don't like much is when we are a bit too egocentric, a bit too ego related or egoistic. I don't know how to call it. But I think that is sometimes a limit when we believe too much in ourselves. So it's a combination. It's a combination of. I've met many hairdressers that are very successful, being very strong on their ego. But I met also the same amount of hairdressers that have been very successful and being very humble. So I don't think being very humble or being very ego, centric makes a big difference. I think what makes a difference, as you said, is more the energy, the sense of aesthetic, the performance, of course, and also I think the values that we stand for. And as you said, the world in these last 3 years is really changed so much. Our lives have changed. Our thinking process has changed. Our priorities in life have changed because we have learned so much. In these 3 years, I think we learn also things that we didn't want to learn, but we learn maybe as if we had lived 10 years instead of, or 20 years instead of just 3.
Wow.
I don't know. I feel sometimes I feel sad about many situations, but in the same time, I also feel that we are in a moment of change, as you said, and it's every time you have a change, you have an opportunity, and so it's there will be if we are able to transform ourselves, to transcend ourselves in this moment of a radical change. I think we can be very much better off. I don't know. I feel very fortunate that, for example, it's a bit crazy to say it, but the last 3 years, for example, of Davines have been 3 incredible years. I know it seems that more problems you have in the world, the more we go well. It's a bit counterintuitive, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe it does.
Yeah, well, I think it does, because like I was saying, like what you actually had said, the one thing that's undisputable is that one of the first things that the clients said post lockdown was, what did you miss the most? And most of them said, my hairdresser, my nail artist, my esthetician, my beauty professional. I mean, that is where, we are, that's where we have that advantage over almost any other industry. We have the possibility to really affect people's lives. We go beyond the skin, we go beyond the hair, we touch the heart, we touch the soul. And I think, Davide, however big your ego may be, or however really secure you are in yourself and your capabilities, let's put it that way, but if you do it with the right intention, the intention to help others, because that's why we are here, and that's why you make your beautiful products. That's why I work with beauty professionals and companies around the world, because the reason we're here is because we're here to help others and make them feel better and happier and more loving and lovable. I mean, if we work with that awareness every day and we psych ourselves out in the morning and we look at ourselves in the mirror, we say, all right, what am I going to do today to make someone's life better, to make them feel more happy, to make them feel more in love with themselves and their lives, then their attitudes are totally going to change to everyone that they come into contact with. And this vibration, it extends into society, it extends into our communities, into society, and into the world in general. I mean, that's a pretty powerful thing, don't you think, Davide? We're a pretty huge army of good doers out there.
Yeah, you know that the rule, and that it's better to, you feel better when you give than when you receive in general. So, you know, only for that reason, we were, you know, in our industry, we're quite fortunate because what we do makes people feel good. So it's kind of a virtuous circle, and for sure, we should ask the reason why people, for example, during lockdown, were missing hair salons or beauty spaces more than anything else. So I think this is a moment for it's a moment that you can take for yourself. It's a moment that you take for your pampering, and as I said before, I think the relationship is very, very important. It's very important to have the right environment, and I don't know, I feel that our industry has a value that will grow more and more in the future, also because, as we know, we all have more and more, we all possess so many objects. How many bags that we can have, how many clothes we can have, how many shoes we can have, but time and self-care is something that I think in the future will grow more and more. So I think we are in the right spot, Stephen.
I think so too, Davide. I don't think that well, maybe someday from 100 years from now, but I don't think that there will be a technology that will definitely, that could in some way substitute human interaction. You know, the human interaction that comes from doing good and helping others, you know, through the acts of loving kindness, which is, you know, washing someone's hair, giving them a nice massage with wonderful products, and drying their hair and making them feel good, and freshening their makeup, and then giving them beautiful nails and a lovely manicure so that when they're touching their loved ones, they feel good about their hands, and people, I mean, all of these things are just loving gestures that really go out into the world and make the world a better place. I mean, we raise the vibration of the planet, Davide Bollati. Don't you agree?
You know, Stephen, that you know why you created Love Inc. There must be a reason. Since day one, you always believe in this, and after all these years, you're still you know, a big testimonial of that. Yeah, it's about love. It's about yeah, it's about love. It's about loving. It's about giving. So also it's also, you know, that I'm particularly, I am also very let's say dedicated to the environment, and of course when you see, you know, all the things that are happening right now, it's December and we are in a t-shirt, you know, it's like it's strange, you know. Usually it looks like spring. Actually, I'm here in Milan today, and it's a spring day, and that is something that should make us think that talking about changes, I think what also makes us feel good is also to believe that we have a mission in this world, that we have a purpose in this world as human beings, as you said. Absolutely. And the purpose is made of course, you know, the right to be happy, the right to live your life to the fullest, and then you know that there are different types of happiness. No, there is a a momentaneous happiness, a happiness that is happening on a moment, and then you have a happiness that is, let's say, a little bit more strategic, because you have to build a long-term happiness in your life through your actions. You know, there are a lot of philosophical studies on this, and so when you think about all of that, it's also important to set yourself with the right purpose in life, short term, medium, medium and long term. So particularly, I don't know, I feel a certain concern about the bigger picture of, let's say, planet health in general.
Yeah.
And personally, to me, to do to research, to dedicate, to engage myself on that big passion that I have, makes my life fuller, more worth to be lived. So that's and when you have a combination of this, what the Japanese called ikigai, you know, when you have a combination of your passion in life, what you are capable of, and therefore good results back to it, you know, it's kind of like a good magic formula. So how can you not be passionate about beauty? How can you not have a higher purpose that to me is environment, to you is I don't know, love, or I don't know, a certain type of aesthetics. You know, each one of us are different, are biodiverse, and that's a good it's a good formula for you know, a decent life. And this industry makes us live a more than decent life, I think.
I agree. I agree. We don't think about it, but I believe that we choose this industry, people that are successful in this industry. I believe we choose this industry from a very, very, very young age. Before we're even really capable of truly understanding what we want to do in life, or the choices that we want to make for a profession. I think that, you know, the beauty professional has maybe even chosen this path even before they came into their mother's wombs. I mean, it could be because I believe that the impassioned beauty professional, the aware beauty professional, not only is very conscious about the salon environment, the ecosystem of the salon, and how much also that has an impact on their communities and on the planet in itself, but also they have this special awareness as to really understand people, their state of anima, how do you say, their state of mind, their state of heart, and be able to interpret and understand that in their approach to that individual. Because, you know, David, if we are feeling good, you know, and if we do feel like it's been a very positive experience, our exchange with the beauty professional, we do go out and do better for the world, not only being more kind and loving to others people, but we're also more aware of how we impact the, you know, the ecology of the world. I mean, maybe we take a wrapper from a candy or something and we think twice, oh, I'm not going to just throw this out the window. I might have done it yesterday because I wasn't feeling very good, or I was angry, or I was displaced or something, and I didn't. But today I'm putting it in the trash, you know, and I'm putting it in the right trash bin. You know what I'm saying? So I think that our industry has such a huge impact way beyond hair, makeup, skin, nails, you know, and the exchange. I think we are an industry that really does impact not only people's lives, but impacts the globe. In the world itself. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you, because you, with the Davines company, have been sensitized to this also, like me with the loving from day one. And you've stuck with that, Davide. When everybody is like me, also at the beginning, we have to be more fashion, Davide. We have to be more glamour and fashion, because, you know, I was like the American glamour fashion guy. I was in Italy. It was like, wow, it's all about glamour fashion. You kept saying, no, Stephen, it's about other priorities.
You know, Stephen, that next year is Davines will be 40 years. We were born at March 14, 1983. We're going to have a retrospective of these 40 years, and you will be in, for sure, you are part of the history of the company. But apart from that, I think that our industry has a high emotional intelligence capital, and emotional intelligence, as you know, is more important than other types of intelligence. So I think that's a big capital that we have, and that higher emotional intelligence capital has a huge impact on self-esteem of people, and self-esteem is so important. For feeling good in general. So the potential is there, and in fact, it's a huge industry. As you know, you have
incredible
one address every 1,000 people around the world. We have worldwide at around 80 million. We are 8 billion already in this planet, and we have around 80 million beauty places around the world, with around 20 million beauty professionals, at least, without not considering makeup artists and nail artists, just hair. Then if you had hair, makeup, and nails, probably
artists.
Probably we can have, maybe we'll have 40 or 50 million beauty professionals in the world. So these 40-50 million people living in a world of 8 billion people, they have a big task. They have a big responsibility, big opportunity in the world to heal the world. I have so many. I'm sure, Stephen, you too. You have so many beautiful stories around the world now of incredible careers, incredible people that have impacted. I don't want to even start, because then we will not stop if we start to. But how many incredible stories we've learned, in all these years in our industry. So let's keep on building on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Davide. This is so great. The most important thing for us with this initiative, and thank you for being our first interview, is to really, really sensitize and awaken the beauty professional to their mission in life and the potential impact, positive impact they can have on the people that they come into contact with, that goes out into their communities, goes out into society, into the cities, and how that can really affect the world in general. So if we operate as beauty professionals aware of this potential and of this power that we have, like you said, there's millions and millions of us. Could you just imagine if even 40 or 50% of us woke up to this awareness, and we operated every day with this mission, with this objective, the impact that we can have on the world. And the saying, that old saying, beauty will save the world, might just come true.
Yeah. It's in this period, it seems there is like a wind going against that, but we have to keep on walking, even if the wind now is against that. One thing, Stephen, let me ask you a question, and that is, it's a question on we've been going back and forth in this industry with the same dilemma, like why chefs recently have became so admired in the society through TV shows and through other initiatives, and our industry, the hairdressing industry, we feel we are not at that level yet. I keep on asking myself questions, and
I agree.
Of course, the food industry. The food industry is important. The food industry is important 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so people are a bit obsessed, especially in Italy, but not only in Italy, worldwide, are obsessed about food. But people are also obsessed about beauty. So I think as an industry, we need to make an effort through media channels on this impact on society. And I don't know, I feel we miss something. Maybe there is nothing to be missed, because if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It means that it's not meant to happen. But I don't know, you, Stephen, you are an expert on communication. Why you think, despite we know the importance of it, we are saying it even in this simple conversation we are having, me and you. Why you think we miss that, that step?
Well, it's a good question. I think one of the reasons is, okay, so like the food industry and all of these programs that are oriented towards food and making food such a big and important, have such a large role in influencing society, has been sponsored by the food manufacturers. It's the food manufacturers that really go and, they see the advantage. I think that the beauty manufacturers haven't caught up to that yet. I think once we get more beauty manufacturers together, to understand the importance of this kind of a communication, because we're at this is a little initiative we're trying to get going here, but we don't have any sponsorship, we don't have any kind of company involvement, and we're doing it organically. It's just kind of because we feel the need to do it from our hearts. But I think if the companies, the corporations teamed up together, and if they realize the importance of this, we could become a huge media attraction worldwide, because we have so much content. I mean, there's an individual that I follow, is named Makeover Guy. And he's this YouTube star, and he takes all of these women, they're in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and he does these incredible makeovers on them. He's followed by millions of people, millions, on his little YouTube channel. And yet no big manufacturers or big media companies have picked up on that and turned it into some kind of, wonderful television series or something, or program or reality show. So I don't know, Davide, that's a good question, but I just think it's because the big manufacturing.
Okay. No, I didn't connect with that. So, for example, those master chefs, I didn't think that there was somebody behind. Maybe I'm too naive, but I thought it was more like those as characters that impacted. But I'm sure there is somebody behind. I don't even know who is behind, actually, those master chefs.
Kraft and all of these huge multinational conglomerates that are the main supporters and the main investors behind the scenes, and actually paying the salaries of a lot of these chef stars.
Yeah, what we did, for example, as a beauty industry, of course, now it's all social media that makes or breaks trends and everything. But for example, we had last year we started with the Association of Manufacturers of Beauty Manufacturing in Italy, Cosmetica Italia. We started this beauty week in Milan. Okay, it's a little something, but I don't think it. Okay, it will start again this year. I don't think it will have a huge impact, but it's something. For a week in Milan, there are like 100 of appointments, so maybe it's the beginning of something, so that to recognize that beauty is, that in Milan you have how many weeks? 52, 54 per year. So Milan doesn't want to miss any week. So you have 1 week of this, 1 week of that. And then there is also the 1 week of dedicated to beauty. So I think it's a good initiative, and we have to grow this and to make sure that people more and more realize that the value of beauty in society, the value of beauty at the personal level. And again, when it comes to beauty professional, the power is in the relationships. Yes. And people feel good. Like also restaurants. Now I'm studying also a little bit some other industries, because I'm maybe, I don't know if I told you still, but I'm working on a hospitality initiative, on a magic box with lots of stuff inside. Like seven floors of hospitality initiatives. And of course, hospitality in beauty hospitality, food hospitality, hotel hospitality, retail hospitality, all of course, linked to biophilia, sustainability, and all of that. And in these initiatives, I really think that beauty has to be, a transversal value and relationship. Even in, for example, in restaurants, sometimes you go to a restaurant because there is they treat you well and you feel good more than the food is great, but if they don't treat you, you don't feel well, you don't go back.
Absolutely. The experience. The experience is everything. The relationship, the experience. Davide, boy, have we had a relationship, huh? A lot of years. And I'm one of your biggest fans. I follow everything you do. And I'm so honored to have you here today, sharing these ideas, these concepts with me and my beauty colleague professionals around the world. And we'll definitely be promoting this. So please, check out Davines products and all of their wonderful initiatives, their world health initiatives. And Davide Bollati, you are definitely an person, an inspiration that we follow, and you are amazing. I'm so thankful for your presence in the world, and thank you for being here on our first interview today to wake up our beauty.
That's it, Steven? We're all done already?
We're done. If you want to be, we can be done.
No. Okay. That's great. As always, thank you so much for having thought about me for this intro.
Thank you, Davide. And everybody, take care. Watch us for future interviews. We have lots of exciting people coming up. We have Sam Villa, Nicholas French, and all kinds of international hair and beauty celebrities and company owners and directors coming up. And it's going to be an amazing exchange about waking our industry up to the importance they have, our role in the well-being and future of society. I'm totally positive, Davide, for the future of humanity. I believe we can pull it together and really, really wake up and make this world a better place.
Yeah, there will be a bigger and bigger role for all of us from this industry in the world in the future. I'm convinced about that. So,
all right. Cool. All right. Ciao, Davide.
Oh, thanks, everybody.
Ciao, tutti.